Alright, guys. Now, the Premier League season is upon us. It starts tomorrow night with Brentford versus Arsenal, being the Friday night game of the first game week of the season. That was an incredibly waffly intro that wasn't needed. But today I'm here to talk about who I think will be the Premier League flop of the season, sort of like a transfer that won't go as well as the team signing the player or the player involved would have hoped. So I've basically picked three players who I think could potentially, in how they do this season. My first option is Ben White for Arsenal. Now, if there's any Brighton or Leeds fans watching, I'm not saying Ben White is a terrible player. In fact, I think he's a very good player. He's definitely a Premier League standard player. He did really well for Brighton last season in back three with Lewis Dunk and Adam Webster, and also at times he slotted into midfield quite well. However, a 50 million or 53 million pound player to be exact, I don't think he is. I don't think he's worth that amount of money. I'd say closer to 25 or 30 million. And for Arsenal, obviously they've, as I've just said, they've probably nearly paid double his actual valuation to bring him in. And at Arsenal, my throat is absolutely going here for some reason. I haven't got COVID. But for Arsenal, it's been well known over the past few years that their defence is not very good. Um, Especially since, probably since, I mean, it's probably not been great since Sol Campbell was playing for them. That's how far we're going back here. But especially over the past 5 years, in the end of Arsene Wenger's reign, it's deteriorated even more. And they've got a player who looks quite good in Gabriel Magalhaes, who had a decent season last year. And they've also got players like Rob Holding, who probably aren't the quality of a top six team, which is Arsenal's aspiration. And Ben White has got a big job in his hands to become like the leader of that back four, which I'm not sure he is the player to do that. I think they need Virgil van Dijk or Ruben Diaz to come in and like become a leader in that Arsenal back four, or a Harry Maguire. And I don't think he's it. My camera just cut off there. What I was going to say to finish on about Ben White is that there's going to be a lot of expectation on him being a £50 million signing, like there was with players like Harry Maguire, Virgil van Dijk, and Ruben Diaz, who dealt with it well. But quite a lot of Arsenal transfers that have been big money, like Nicolas Pepe, like Alexander Lacazette, have sometimes not gone as well as hoped. Shkodran Mustafi, Granit Xhaka, those sorts of players. And I have a feeling this could go the same way. I don't think Ben White will be a bad player for Arsenal. I don't think he'll be what Arsenal fans are hoping for, though, is my problem. I think they need another centre back. I don't think you play White and Gabriel together. I think you play one of them with a leader. But yeah, anyway, on to my second pick, Jack Grealish. Now, there's a few reasons why I think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to, but I think he might. Obviously, City have probably overpaid for him a bit. I'd say Jack Grealish is a 55 million to 60 million pound player. Man City have paid about 105 million pound for him, which I think is very over the top for a player, especially in the way that Manchester City play as well, because Jack Grealish this season is going to play, or he's going to start 25 to 30 games. You don't pay 150 million, no, 100 million for a player who's only going to play 25 games a season, because it's just the way Man City are. They rotate. It's obviously anyone who plays fantasy Premier League knows about Pep Roulette. And also there's going to be massive expectation on him. He's the most expensive English football signing of all time, obviously beating Paul Pogba's 93 million back in 2016. So I think that transfer could also go horribly wrong. Well, not horribly, but no, it's not going to get horribly wrong. Big, it might not live up to expectations. A bit similar in the way that Felipe Coutinho didn't live up to the hype at Barcelona. And then my third pick is Adam Armstrong for Southampton. Now he's only just recently signed for them, and he hasn't played. He hasn't played any pre-season games for them that I'm aware of. And this has just come after Southampton have sold Danny Ings to Aston Villa. Now Southampton at the second half of last season were a team who were really struggling, and we're one of the worst teams in the league in the last 6 months of the season. After they beat Liverpool at the start of January, it all seemed to go pear-shaped for them. And my prediction is I don't think Hasenhüttl will last the full season. And if James Ward-Prowse wasn't playing for Southampton last season, it could have gone a lot worse. Now, with Danny Ings gone to Villa, Adam Armstrong has got a massive job on his hands, because Southampton don't score that many goals anyway, and they've lost a player who scores a massive chunk of what they score as a team in Danny Ings, and that is big boots to fill for Adam Armstrong, who actually has never really had a full season in the top flight. I think he's played a few games for Newcastle, but I think I don't think it will be a horrendous signing, but I just don't think it will be a good enough replacement for Danny Ings. Like you see it often that players from the Championship come up to the Premier League. Sometimes they're very good, like Jack Grealish has been for Aston Villa, and sometimes they're not so good. So I think that could potentially go wrong. But out of the three, my pick for who will be the biggest flop this season is going to be Ben White, because I just don't think he is the player that Arsenal needs in the back four. They need a proper leader, just like a big player, like who you'd be scared to come up against as an attacker. And as I've already said, they haven't really had that since Sol Campbell. So I think he will struggle for Arsenal this season. But who knows? All three could prove me wrong. Probably will do. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, and enjoy the Premier League season.